Hello again, YouTube land, and welcome to the new year. Traditionally, people say Happy New Year, I'm aware, but it seems a bit presumptuous, if you ask me. I don't think you should wish anyone a Happy New Year because you don't know how their year has started, you don't know how last year ended, and you don't know what the outlook is for them because you're not them, you don't have all the details. As for me, in my house, it is the year of the cat. No, I'm not basing that on any special calendar like the Chinese one you see on the American placemats in restaurants here. It's complicated and it's not difficult to explain, but it's not really something I want to explain. It's one of those things where they tell you, and by they, I don't know what amorphous group I'm referring to, but they say that if you're going to have New Year's resolutions, especially about changes in health or lifestyle, that it's a good idea to have a resolution buddy. Someone that is hoping to achieve a similar goal, or at least someone who you trust, who you can confide this resolution in, so that they can, keep you balanced, keep you on point, keep you focused, etc., blah, 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 But I don't know. I'm not saying there isn't a benefit to being your brother's keeper, but I'm too controlling for that. And I know I'm too controlling for that. So there are several that I'm continuing to work on from last year and that I'm working on from Rosh Hashanah, which if you saw that post, you know what I'm talking about. And whatever ones I've reaffirmed this year, I think there comes a point in most human adults' lives when you hit an age where you think these are always going to be the things I'm working on. I'm never going to completely achieve them, but I'm always going to want to keep working at them. For a lot of us, it's our weight. For some of us, it's giving up vices. For some of us, it's finding someone to spend our lives with or finding the career that suits us best. For some of us, it's all of the above in some variation or another. But me being me and knowing what I know about me and knowing what I know about what I've been trying to accomplish and what I continue to want to work on to accomplish eventually, ad infinitum, I will leave it at I have made significant strides to work on the goals I feel need to be achieved. And I intend on continuing to do so. Leave it at that. To that end, one of the things I'm working on is this so-called knitting business, or the process of creating knit products for sale. And I gotta tell you, one of the things that most people aren't 100% upfront about when starting their own business in any way, shape, or form, especially if you haven't been employed for a while, is that investing in yourself, and by extension, yourself being defined as your business, your supplies, your equipment, your materials, it isn't ever very clearly expressed exactly how fucking terrifying it can be. Now, I don't watch horror movies. I generally don't watch thriller movies, and I love science fiction, but there's some that even I find just not good given what my psychiatric state is. So, I won't say I don't scare easy, but when it comes to the everyday real life bullshit, the things that everyone has to face at some point or another, to some extent or another, I don't scare easy. I certainly don't shy away. I mean, I'm not one to run from life being difficult. I mean, that's the only life I've ever known is a difficult one. I get worried when life isn't difficult. That's when I start being paranoid that the other karmic shoe is gonna drop and just boom, Cold beverage. So, difficult I can handle, challenging I can handle. Financial concerns and stresses and how they affect a household, I've tangled with before. I mean, I spent several years living on my own before I moved back to New York. So that doesn't really worry me. I mean, budgeting doesn't worry me. Making sure bills get paid doesn't worry me. These are not things that have ever been daunting in my perspective. But investing in something to your own ends, spending money on, especially money you haven't earned, on something that hopefully will make you money, ideally will provide you with an outlet for creativity, for fulfilling a need to be productive, for providing a good product that other people will want. These are not easy. These are not simple, and they are quite often drastically overcomplicated in the mind of the person trying to achieve the goal. And yes, I'm guilty of that. But I admit a good part of it I do to myself because, like I said, I'm a control freak. And I don't like letting other people do things that I feel are supposed to be my responsibility. Hi, Tribble. Sam made her a box tower called Mount Kilimanjaro. Yes, I know that's the name because he wrote it on the box. So, see, that's how scary it can be if you really stop and think about it. So much so that I find myself easily distracted and getting off topic. But yes, the new year has begun. We are several days in. Today, actually, in the mail, I got the third installment of the Good Eats Complete Cookbook series. I had the early years and the middle years. I decided to get myself the latter years. Later years, whatever you want to call it. And I was very happy about that because it's one of the few cooking shows that no matter how often I rewatch it, I keep picking up stuff, or I keep being re-inspired to make particular recipes or try new recipes. So here's to a lot more home cooking this year, if nothing else. Hopefully your year has begun well and will continue as such. And when I have more information about things worth sharing, I'll probably share it, but I make no significant promises. Except to myself. It's just easier that way.